on Life, by Tony Angelo. As I walked into the crowded room, the smell of perfume and chatter filled my senses. People were laughing, mingling, and enjoying each other's company, but I couldn't help but feel out of place. It seemed like everyone was caught up in their own little worlds, while I was just a mere spectator. I found myself a corner to stand in, hoping to blend into the walls and go unnoticed. The room was filled with narcissistic personalities, each one vying for attention and validation. It was like a competition to see who could boast about their accomplishments the loudest. As I listened to their conversations, I couldn't help but feel a sense of loneliness wash over me. It was then that I noticed a group of pessimists sitting in another corner, their faces filled with despair as they discussed how the world was crumbling and there was no hope. They seemed to be in their own little bubble, always looking for the negative in every situation. Despite their constant complaining, no one seemed to be offering them any guidance or support. Feeling more alone than ever, I walked over to the pessimistic group, hoping to find some solace in their company. As soon as I approached them, I was bombarded with their negative thoughts and cynical outlook on life. I couldn't help but feel a sense of despair creep over me as their words echoed in my mind. But then, a voice cut through the pessimistic chatter. "Hey, don't listen to them. They're just bringing everyone down." It was a woman's voice, and I turned to see a kind smile on her face. She introduced herself as Jane and said she felt the same way about the room filled with narcissistic personalities. We sat down and talked for what seemed like hours, sharing our thoughts and feelings about the people in the room. It was a relief to finally find someone who understood how I felt, and I was grateful for her company. As the night went on, Jane introduced me to a few other individuals who also felt out of place in the room. They were all kind-hearted and genuine people, who, like me, were seeking true connections amidst all the chaos. By the end of the night, I had found a group of friends who accepted me for who I was and didn't try to change or one-up me. We laughed, joked, and bonded over our shared experiences. It was in that room full of narcissistic personalities and pessimists that I had found my tribe. I realized that sometimes, feeling alone in a crowded room is not necessarily a bad thing. It allowed me to see past the superficial and find people who truly mattered. People who were not afraid to be vulnerable and share their own struggles, rather than just showcasing their successes. As I walked out of the room that night, I had a newfound appreciation for being alone. It had led me to some of the most genuine and authentic people, who I knew would be there to offer guidance and support whenever I needed it. And that, to me, was worth more than any superficial validation or pessimistic outlook on life.